How can you have a Jewish democracy? Isn't that a contradiction in terms? And of course, that suggests that Judaism has a singular meaning, that Israel as a Jewish state is Israel as a halachic state, a state in which Jewish values can be expressed, just like France is a French state and Canada is a Canadian state. Israel is not a Jewish state in the way that every Arab country is a Muslim state.
For Israel to be able to get its story across, it's not sufficient to say, well, we want peace, and they don't. It's about who we are. It's about what we stand for. It's about what we teach our children. And it's about what the other side stands for and what they teach their children, and what values are manifested in their behavior.
It has been a premise of American policy for a long time that Israel is not going to be able to make peace if it feels highly insecure.
The crucial day is a day in which Iran's neighbors, which are part of the Arab world and Muslim world, understand that the world is not determined enough to stop Iran, because we live in a neighborhood in which whether you beat the bully or join it.
Israel, who was under terror, not in September 11, but in September 10, and September 9, and September 13, and September 14, is doing what it can, I think, in order to have the proper balance between security and rights. Not outside the law, but inside the law.
We will never be apologetic about the fact that we survived.
When people savagely criticize only one country, and it's the only Jewish state, and when they do it in the name of being anti-racists, I look at them and I say, but what they're doing is racism.
You don't even need to hear the right one. The Israeli Law Journal article that you can hear, and it's on the last few pages. Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free!
I understand why people who love oil don't support Israel. I understand why people who are Islamic zealots don't support Israel. I do not understand for the life of me why a person committed to human rights, feminism, environmentalism, gay rights would go against the one country in the Middle East that has all of those things and support countries that have none of those things.
Israel is seen as this strange interloper, Jewish crusaders who came and threw out the Arabs from their ancestral homes. There has been here a reversal of the perception of history and the facts of history. And I maintain that the only way you can really make the case for Israel is to go back to the historical facts.
In a sea of totalitarianism and dictatorship, we are an island of sanity and the outpost of democracy.
Our power, our strength is in fact that Israel is the only real, deep, vibrant democracy in this part of the world. And peace will prevail here when we will have as allies among Palestinians, among Syrians, among Lebanese, people who also believe in democracy and freedom.